I don't care what you say. The banjos, if they don't get your head booming, you're not ready for the week. That's what I say. I was just sitting here waiting on my 15 seconds to kick in so I could come start the show. Heads bobbing. That means I'm ready. I'm ready. We got the banjos ready. We're ready to do this. It is the week of, well, whatever they call this. The one down in Mexico is what we're going to call it. That tournament down in Mexico, and we are here for it because PGA DFS is on fire right now. All right, we'll talk more about that at contest selection in just a second. What's up, new guy? My name is James, better known as the Degenerate 75, and I am going to try to get you to need to know everything you need for PGA DFS. If you want some betting stuff and stuff like that, honestly, you probably should tail some of my shit. I've been fucking rocket hot. But this is going to be focused more on PGA DFS if you're just finding us. If you're just finding us, we're almost at 10,000 people, and I can quit fucking asking you guys to do this. Just get me to 10,000. Make sure it says subscribed here at Ship It Nation. We're almost there. Big milestone for us. We're going to give a lot away, so make sure to do that. Appreciate you. I'm already at $20, and we're still in the intro. By the way, I got a guy in the back right now chanting one more year. We've survived the first year of this, so he's back there chanting one more year. And I hope after one more year he fucking still chants it. I don't know. But we are at a year since all this shit's happened, and we're still fighting. I appreciate all you mother fathers. Let's get going. I don't want to talk too long. A little queasy. Chemo be doing that to you, but you know the big guy's not going to let you down. Let's get through all of our relevant information with a very simple question. New guy? What's the first thing we always check? I already fucked up my own line. You can tell I'm $40. This is going to be good. Anyways, have you made your lineups yet? That's my question. You could tell. I just woke up from a nap, all right? Sue me. 271 of you already in here. You love to see it. I'd love to see those likes continue to go up. My God, what's up with these super chats? I'm going to make Ship It undeniably a powerhouse just by these super chats. What do we got over here? We've got Ricardo, my dude who just shipped 100K, one of my great pupils. Thank you, Ricardo. You are the man. Great to see you. Great to see you, too. And Nick, hope the greatest tout in the land can be there. Happy Wednesday, big guy in the back. You know Nick's always going to take care of us. You love to see that. Thanks, guys, for the super chats. Two of my longest standing members. Let's get going. All right. We're checking. I actually just talked to a couple heads of who makes these contests over at DraftKings, and they told me that DraftKings Classic, Kicking the Nuts, aka Kicking the Nuts, is actually up for the season. It's actually like there's the volume is up, which is crazy because a lot of people think that PGA DFS is either stagnant or is dying, and so far this year the numbers are up across the board, and so surely they make bigger contests to compensate for this, right? No, that would involve a little vision and a little, putting your nuts on the table and actually making good decisions. It is insane, guys. If you haven't looked, the main $20, the pitch and putt, it's already full. And the secondary is going to fill up probably by the end of this show. It's less than 1,000 or right at 1,000 away. So if you're wanting to play in the big lottery, you're playing in the secondary lottery. It's the pitch and putt. And this secondary one, the structure fucking sucks, Bob. So I guess go reserve those if that's your thing. If I were still trying to play, I would be trying to get in the $44 club twirl, the $30 single entry, the $12 single entry, the $6 tee to green. These are, look, they already have a third pitch and putt up. My God. Get it together, DraftKings, you slapdicks. Hopefully this means they're going to take care of us on the flip side, and we get some nice showdown, because this is crazy. If you don't have your stuff like already reserved, which I'm thinking you're going to need to start doing that, because these guys realize that there's a lot of demand out there, and they are not adjusting these sizes of these tournaments. They're just adding new ones once they fill. I like to be in the big ones. I like to be in the main ones. So I would say my advice to you is start kind of putting your plan together Tuesday night, Wednesday about, like how big is your player pool going to be. Then you can kind of determine what kind of contest you want to play in, and then you go reserve them, right? I think that's just how it's going to be, because these guys are being some major dipshits about appropriately assigning the size of these contests, right? So, there's not a lot to say here. Not a lot to say, Bob. I'm sorry. This is how it is. It looks like it's going to be a showdown week for me, because I've been sleeping all day trying to rest for this stream, and now I'm kind of screwed too. So, I didn't reserve my shit. I didn't think it would fill so quick, and I did. All right, new guy, second question. What's the first thing we always check? Which I've already asked is the first question. That's right. It's weather. If you don't know, they're down in Mexico, down here on the west coast of Mexico in Puerto Vallarta. It's just a little north of there. That is not how they talk, but that's how they talk when I do an impression of it, so deal with it, Bob. All right, we talk about Puerto Vallarta. All right, here's the thing, man. They get really, really consistent weather here. It's like every day at like noon or 1, you get like a little bit of a breeze, but it's like every day. It's super consistent. So I'll tell you right now, week long, I've been hitting refresh on Eric Cole Monday, Wednesday, Friday projections, or Every Country Makes Weather Forecast, whatever acronym you like, and like for 3 days. And it's just unbelievable how consistent these weather forecasts are. So I think the real advantage this week when it comes to weather is going to be at Showdown, right? We'll have that factored in, and we'll be making all of that over at Ship It Nation, right? Of course, my projections are going to factor in weather and wind and all of that. But as far as week-long goes, if you bent my arm and said, pick one or the other, first of all, I'd say, dude, you can't always chase a weather edge. There's not always one there. But if you force me, I'd probably go PM AM, simply just because it's supposed to be a little bit warmer Friday afternoon. Maybe it bakes out a little bit more. But you want to know something? I fucking doubt it. Bob. All right? So that's the thing. If you're chasing a weather edge this week, it's not there, except maybe at Showdown. That's what I would say. PM AM if you're a real slimy person and you want to try to chase something, but it's just that afternoon wind, man. It's just so consistent, and you can see it's going to happen both days. So I wouldn't be running around being like, I got to go all PM AM this week. Hey, we got another super chat. Thanks, Yobi Trice. I'm here for the sleeper picks. If you're here for my picks, everybody, you need to turn this thing off. All right. I'm not a pick guy, and that's why I'm so good at picks, because I don't give a shit, all right? More on that in a little bit. You're here for my picks. This is literally, even Chad says here for the sleepers. You guys know how to hurt my soul. I do not like to be the guy who's here for picks, okay? There's like 5,000 dickheads on Twitter who will give you their picks, okay? Go follow theirs. I'm not here for picks. That's why I do 1, 1, and 1. And you'll notice they're called guys I'm playing. Guys, I'm not playing, because let me tell you a little something. I don't give a shit who you play, okay? I'm sorry. I really don't care who you play or why you play them. I try to teach a little bit, and you have your own process. If you're here for my picks and plays, you deserve one punch of the nuts, because I am not a tout. I know we're playing around with it on Twitter because it's funny, but the reason I'm so good at picks recently is because I just don't give a shit about them. It's a magical power. When you let go of having any connection to your picks, you can get there a lot better. There you go. Brant calling me super tout. He gets it. I am no tout. All right, moving on. Let's get over to the second most important thing in PGA DFS. That is, of course, ownership. And we got some interesting ownership this week. If you don't know, Mav McNeils, Keith Mitchell, Norman Zhang, they all withdrew. They didn't really screw with the pricing because they all got out beforehand. But those were some of the names that were, well, I mean, not Norman Zhang, but Mav and Keith were supposed to kind of, add just a little bit more air to the tires up top and make this a stronger field up top. Now that they're gone, it's a pretty weak field. But you know what? It's not like those guys were killers anyway, so make the best out of it. All right, we got Akshay Bhatia coming in at 27%, and that's simple. Pricing this week is soft as baby shit, okay? And when you do that, I think you'll see Akshay well over 30% in single entry and in smaller field stuff, right? He's just clearly better than like everybody else in this field. I think he has a bigger talent gap now, and he certainly has a bigger talent gap in the long run. Akshay Bhatia, I think he's going to come in at 30%. The man is leaving me no choice. That man right there, Akshay Bhatia, he is.
The man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? The man's donkey chalk. All right, doesn't mean you can't play him. Just means you need to be careful how you play. It's not about how you play somebody, or it's not about who you play. It's about how you play. Those words are straight from Tambo. All right, moving on. Kurt Kitayama. This one surprised me, right? I didn't think Kurt Kitts would get up there over 20%. But when you start getting over 20% and your name is Kurt Kitayama, I think we can throw Hogard in this too. Both of these guys are largely getting there simply because you can spend the money, right? It's just such a soft week when it comes to money. You can honestly get Bhatia and Kitayama in there so easily and still build a lineup you really like, right? So with that, I'm just going to be a dickhead and just tell you, both these guys right here, yeah, I don't care what you say. They're both. Oh, no.
The man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk.
They're over 20%, and they're not that good. That's my rule. That's my rule, all right? You're over 20%, you're not good, you become donkey chalk. Not sure what that voice was. Let's just roll with it, all right? These next two, you're pushing me. Yeager, Stevens, Rogers, all there. I think they're all going to come in just under that 20 percentile. And when you do that, a lot of that is simply just going to be where they're priced. We've already talked about that. And you're getting a little bit high. But I can't make everybody donkey chalk. So these guys, I think right now, if they come in under that 20%, we're going to be normal. We're going to just give them I don't love it. That's getting a little high there. We're getting a little high with that ownership. Let's watch it from Yeager, Stevens, and Rogers. And one of them inevitably is going to get above 20%. But as of right now, we're going to play them all around that 17, 18% range. And I think at that range, they're more just like, you're getting a little high, but you're going to have to spend your money. It's not like every person in your lineup is going to be 6% owned. What you want to do is not play everybody in your lineup over 10 or 12%. Have one or two guys in there under 10%, preferably under like 7%, and you're going to be so much different than everybody else, okay? Does that make sense? You can play any of these guys. Just because I put them up here on this list and I color them doesn't mean you don't play them. It just means you need to be aware of how you're playing them. Make sure that when you go jump into the 7Ks, you're getting the 7K guy that is, 5% owned, not the 7K guy that's 12% owned. When you go to the 8Ks, maybe grab a guy that is 9% owned as opposed to grabbing the one that's 18% owned. That's all you really got to do to offset it. Okay? You just need one or two guys in your lineup, to be under like 7%. And if you got three donkeys in there, you probably want to have like three guys under 10%, right? That's what we're after here. All right, Jake Knapp, Taylor Moore, right there. You guys are pushing it. You're pushing it, Bob. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and give these guys, just to be, in the sake of transparency, we'll give them, they're both a little high. Because I am almost for sure. Alex Smalley. I know that this is getting to be a little contradictory because Jake Knapp is right above him, but I just feel this one in me loins, boy. I can feel it in me loins. Alex Smalley, I know what it says there, but Alex Smalley is going to be. I promise you.
The man's donkey jock.
I've heard.
And we don't play
I'm
donkey
sorry.
jock.
I've heard too many people talk about him this week. I just have a feeling. Tambo said this today when he was on with Mayo, and I thought it was a great point, that at this time of the year, people are still listening to touts more than they are data and they are models and stuff like that. And I've heard Alex Smalley's name a lot. I think he certainly gets over 20%, especially in small field and in single entry. So because of that, I'm giving him donkey chalk because basically I think he's going to steam up tonight, all right? Hopefully he's on the steam list. Maybe I didn't put him on there. There was a lot of guys I think that are going to steam, so deal with it. And then lastly, Michael Kim, I think, I don't even really consider that chalk at 9,200 once you're under 15%. I think a lot of that is simply just that he gets ownership because he's up there. So with that, I'm actually going to give him the very, very rare. Okay. He's okay, chalk. Okay. I'm not upset about it. He's okay, chalk. Okay. There you go. That is some guys that are. Those are your top 10 projected highest owned over at Ship It. But, of course, it's never that easy because people are watching this, right? And as people watch this, there's going to be guys that get steamed up and there's going to be guys that moonwalk. Let's talk about some of them and why I think you're going to see them move. First up, Rasmus Højgaard. It's easy. People see that 10,100, and for whatever reason, they're going to see that there's three guys in the five figures, and they are going to apply donkey logic and say, well, they're five figures, they must be better. So Rasmus Højgaard being just barely over 10,000 and so easy to fit into lineups, that guy is definitely going to get steamed up tonight, simply just because you can get him in lineups so easily. Coming in at number 2, Taylor Moore. Taylor Moore is just a guy that this community loves, right? This community says, Taylor, give me more. I don't know what that was. I guess that was sex noises from Taylor Moore. At $9,000, he's too good for this field to be at 9,000. This community already loves him. That guy is definitely going to get a little bit of steam tonight, okay? It sounds like he's going to get it from some of y'all, okay? Taylor Moore, he will be steamed up. He will be more high than you want him to be. And lastly, guys that I think will get steamed up, old pot getter. Okay, we're going to call him pot getter because everybody had that friend in high school that could get you the pot. Well, here in fantasy golf, it's old Aldrich pot getter, okay? He's the one that gets the pot, keeps the party going. He says, let's party, baby. And I'm just telling you, of all the guys in the 7,000s, he has been the one that I think is getting sneaky talked up a lot this week, and I think there's going to be a lot of them. Holy shit, 500 people in here, 251 likes. That was exactly half. That means half of the people in here are being donkey dicks. It'd be so great if you just go ahead and make that number a little bit better. I cannot believe there's 500 people in here. You guys rule. I appreciate all of you being here on the Mexico week, right? Look at that. We as Americans, open-minded. All right, but if some people are steaming, that means some people be moonwalking, baby. Let's go. Let's do who moonwalking, baby. All right, we got old Dumpy Bo, right? And this is just simple. But Dumpy Bo has not been playing that great. There's too many guys around him, and he's that magical 9,000 number. And I think 9,000 is where a lot of PGA DFS players are still. When I see a guy 9,100, I'm like, oh, that's expensive. Yet if he's 8,700, I'm like, oh, what a value, right? And I think that Bo Hostler falls into that. So you are going to see a little bit of Bo Hostler, and that boy is going to be Could you imagine Bo Hostler actually moonwalking? Like, I can't even imagine how much money I would give for that video. I would give so much money to see Dumpy Bo moonwalking. All right, this next one, I've heard people talking a lot about him, but I don't think that he's going to. Somebody has to not get this team, right? And Norgard, he's not going to protect the hose. He is no guard of the molars. He will not protect your teeth. Clearly not a dentist. Okay, Mr. No Guard of your teeth is a guy that I think that like people just don't know well enough yet, and there's not enough people in this community who are out there pumping his tires, and because of that, I think that he is going to moonwalk a little bit because not everybody can steam up. He is going to be one of the guys that's going to get caught going backwards. He'll moonwalk. And lastly, Anton Rosner. I love when Euros come over for their first week of American play, of PGA play, where the real men are and where the real golf plays. And I think Antoine Rosner is going to be that guy this week. He is a guy that I was honestly thinking was going to get steamed up. But as the week has progressed, I've seen more people getting talked about in the 7,000s. And as I've already said, not everybody can steam up. So that guy is going to moonwalk backwards. There you go. Those are some guys that I think are moonwalking backwards. All right, we have to have a quick talk. Why do I keep hitting these sleepers, right? 5 in a row. I think 7 of 9 have been pretty nutted this year, right? Because I simply just go in here to my notes and I use it to just kind of refresh my mind. Yes, I know they're my notes, but there's also like some other more mechanical stuff added in there, like specifically about what rounds they do well in, what kind of courses. Hell, we added another 30 golfers today just to make sure that we're staying up to date with guys who are playing on the PGA Tour. So look, there's Dumpy Bo right there, looking extra dumpy. And last week, I mean, every week I find my guy off of this. So like, if you're wondering like what magical powers this has, it just allows me to look to, I have some ideas. What about this guy? What about this guy? If this thing has me playing Patrick Rogers, it's doing some magical bullshit. Because there's not a person in this industry who shits on Patrick Rogers more than I do. And I played that motherfather as a sleeper, and we got there, right? So this is Degen's Notes. This is what we offer at Ship It Nation, along with all the other stuff. The stone is still there, the best tool. All of our stuff. To me, this is just my favorite tool because I keep finding nutted players on it. And when you have a 3% Patrick Rogers and he finishes T3, you tend to have a very good week. Whenever you have a 3% Charlie Hoffman, or whenever you have a 6% Owen Thomas Dietrich, you tend to have very good weeks at these because I don't just say I'm playing them. I'm telling you the 3 guys I'm playing, and I try to tell you why I'm playing them. All right, there you go. All right, let's get over to the model, which, guys, I'm sorry, I just don't care about models anymore. There's a lot of people doing good model work out there, but I think models suck. There you go. I said it. I'm just not going to play around with it anymore. I think models are not that great. They're not a part of my process. They can be a part of yours. I don't give a shit. Have your own process. Okay? Just like you're copying my picks. I think that's lame as shit. You need to, if you don't like Patrick Rogers, you don't play Patrick Rogers. That's where it should be, right? Don't do it because the big guy's doing it. That would be my advice to you, all right? All right, moving on. Let's see. Just running through this field real quick. We've already talked about these top 3 guys are going to be popular. I think Sam Stevens is in the perfect spot. Him and Yeager in the perfect spot to get overlooked. Aaron Rye, Harry Hall, going to be overlooked. I think Michael Kim. I mean, actually, this is a good little run of Americans right here. Actually, that's too British. Ryan Hall, Aaron Rye, in case, he's going to be next to the coast. Those 2 gloves going to be very useful. Harry Hall, both British all right. And then Michael Kim and Bo Hostler. That's a great little range. If you like any of those guys, I think that there's somebody to play in there. I would say Aaron Ryan, Michael Kim probably interest me more. And then from there, I think Ben Griffin. I can't believe at 8,900, Ben Griffin is not getting a little bit more chalked up. It has to be because he's sandwiched between Taylor Moore, Kevin Yu, Smalley, and Knapp. And I think all 4 of those guys are going to be popular. And because of that, someone has to get squeezed, which leaves Lauer, Moeller, Pan, Olesen. This is the great forgotten about range right here, right? Lauer basically all the way down here to like Dear Bjorn Olesen, right? Like that's like the whole group. Like nobody is playing these guys. And then you get down here, and then there's the random 7K guys that are getting the love. You got your Carson Young, who will be definitely catching some love. Jesper Svensson's going to catch some love. Chan Kim's going to catch some love. Hell, maybe even Kevin Wall, the goalie. We already told you about Pot Getter's going to get a little bit of love. Rosner will get a little bit, not as much because I think he's going to get moonwalked a little bit, but he's going to get a little bit of love. Anybody else that's kind of chalking it up in the 7Ks? Vince Norman, Thirsty Lawrence, Jackson Subra I've even heard mentioned, right? But once again, once you get down here, it doesn't mean you can't play these guys. Like if you're worried about like, oh, I can't play I can't play whoever, Vince Norman, the Viking, because I heard him talked about on some show. Fuck that. You can play whoever you want, right? Especially down here. Just be aware he might be like 7%, whereas a guy like Kanaya is going to be like 0.5%. That's what I'm telling you about. So if all things are equal and you come down to Norlander, let's say the last guy in your lineup is either Norlander or Vince Norman, right? And one is 1%, which is going to be Norlander, and let's say Vince Norman's going to be 7%. Go look at that lineup. Does that lineup already have 2 punts in it? Does that lineup already have a nice pivot up top? Maybe that lineup already has, a nice pivot like Aaron Ryan, Michael Kim in it. Well, if that's the case, then you don't need to get different at every spot, right? So with that in mind, if you've already gotten different up top, don't worry about playing a 7% pot getter or a 5% Rosner. Put them in your lineup. Put a 7 or 8% Svensson in your lineup, but just make sure that the lineup is different somewhere else, right? It doesn't always have to be different at the bottom. It can be different up top simply by making a good pivot up top. So quit thinking that like the last guy in your lineup's always got to be some fucking weirdo that you've never heard of, right? Like, oh no, I've got to get a Kanaya in there. No, you trust me, you never need to get Kanaya in your lineups, okay? That is something no winning player has ever said, all right? So remember that. The lineup as a whole is what matters. It doesn't have to be the 5th or 6th guy in your lineup that's a weirdo that's making you different. It can be the first guy in your lineup, the second guy in your lineup. Hell, just make the very first guy in your lineup, Sam Stevens. You're already wildly different in building your lineup than almost everybody else, okay? Which brings me to, who's the one guy I'm not playing this week? Well, the one guy I'm not playing this week, yeah, this one hurts me. We're going to go, I always go 7K trash. But you know what? I'm gonna go a little bit ballsier. You know what? I am gonna sleep on him this week. I'm sorry, Jake Knapp. I'm not playing you. I know he played really well last week. Jake Knapp it is. Not playing him. I'm doing it. Jake Knapp, not playing him. Which brings me to everybody's favorite segment. Who is my sleeper this week? And I'm so tired of you guys thinking that that you need to follow my picks. I'm going with the nastiest sleeper I could find, right? Because for all of you that don't understand, there's one of two things a sleeper should do. They should blow up in your face, which is what they should do most of the time. They are shitty sleepers down in the 6,900 range usually, right? Nice. So they should blow up in your face more than they have. That's why it's crazy. Or the second thing they should do is they should go get you a really good finish, right? A top 25. And yes, I've had 5 of those in a row. But this guy, he has been all over the place. I've been waiting for him to break out. I tend to like to play him at TPC courses, but we're going to play a little bit earlier. I tend to play him at Showdown way more than week long, but I'm telling you, when I just look at long-term talent, I think that he's got it. I'm going to play him. Ready to go down in flames with all of you, because I know all you donkeys are going to follow me. I see people in the chat already nailing it. His name is KH Lee. That's right. The one sleeper we're playing is KH Lee. All right, but that is not the one guy I'm playing. The one guy I'm playing is a dude that is honestly playing pretty well. He's got, he can bomb it off the tee. He's looked like he's had his approach game starting to trend in the right direction. You give me ball striking from this guy, I'm in. I think he's getting a little overlooked in the ownership market, so because of that, we're going to watch him. Let's see who we got this week. We got a movie. Uh-oh. Nacho Libre. Hey, we're not. It ain't Patrick Rogers. I promise you. I can't play that loser 2 weeks in a row. Oh man. Oh, Jake Knapp, you loser. Oh, Batia just out here crushing people. Oh, Aaron Rye. Look at that. Oh, our mystery man's effing people up. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. KH Lee's out there now. That's our sleeper. Make him pay, KH Lee. Oh, man, we're catching punches from Hogard. Uh-oh. Me and Ron showing up to scout. Here comes our mystery man. Uh-oh, flipping people out. Oh, it's Steven Yeager. Steven Yeager, he's our one guy of the week. Let's go from the top rope, you motherfather. Get in there. Oh, from the top rope, not good. Hogard. You don't mess with us, you mother father. That's right. The one guy we're playing is old Steven Ziega. Yeah, he's from Germany. We're going to play him and have a good week. All right, that's the one guy we're playing. Guys, I want to do a shout out to all of our people over at Ship It Nation. As you know, we celebrate all of our members doing great, and it has been another great week. It's really would only be news if it's not. We got guys playing at every level, dudes figuring out their own process, having a great time with it, and we're doing it all by providing them with the best tools and the best strategy we can out there. It's not about picks and plays. I know you guys are here just for my wild sleepers, you crazy man, yeah. But don't forget, we have the best tool in all of PGA DFS. Andrew Miller, I see you over there in the chat. I appreciate the $50 super chat. You are the man. We have the Stone, which I have been, had together for 3 years. I think it's the best tool out there. We have it for a week long, of course, as you can see. We have it for round 2, round 3, and round 4 showdown. Because if you haven't seen the showdown contest, have been off the hook, just like the week long has. So I highly encourage you to get in there. We also have the scorecard, which goes along with my notes, where we have all of them rated on the basic stuff. So if you do like a lot of that stuff that comes in models, we have it right here. It's their 2-year turning average, and we update this so you can kind of see what people are good at, not only versus the field, but versus themselves, so you can see what they excel at. And here's the crazy thing. You go put in PGA 100, we already have the cheapest package out there. All the way through December, you get our package, and it's cheaper than everybody else. You put in that code PGA 100, you get another $100 off, and you're getting everything. This is not just me. It's not just my tools. It's also all this stuff right here when you go click on PGA. It's the course fit rankings by Lee. It is the slate plan by Tambo and Hoop. It is the entire team. We have so many people dedicated to making our PGA product the best, and if you've been over there, you'll be like, yep, it's the best. All right, this is for all my people. 24-hour warning. Editor, in the chat, I want you to give me somebody else to win a $100 ticket to split with me. This is from Twitter. Editor's going to pick somebody from the chat. All right, there we go. We have, is that Chooch7072. Reach out to me on Twitter. We'll build a $100 lineup together. Been killing it at that, man. I've already had to send some guys some real money. So I had to send somebody a few hundred, like more than once. This has been exciting this early in the year. And it looks like our other winner is Big Chops from the chat. Big Chops, reach out to me either on the Discord, Twitter for Ship It. If you're not over there, try reaching me on the Twitters, right? So either reach me on Discord or on Twitter. We'll build a lineup together, brother. I encourage you guys to sign up. We got our 2 winners ready to go. Another week. Let's have fun with it. Don't forget Showdown. I have a feeling they're going to be good Showdown contests this week. Let's celebrate the big guy making it through a year. Let's celebrate all of you being here. Appreciate all the likes. Keep dropping them. Remember to enjoy this week. Enjoy the content. Build your lineups. Have some fun with it. Tilt your lineups. Sweat your lineups. And enjoy the results. And just be thankful you have this. I appreciate all of you being here. It's been real. It's been fun. We'll talk to you next time. You enjoy this outro. You mother fathers.
So